twice as hard for something you already got. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Friends are coming through the door. Wheels are spinning on the floor. We don't know what we don't know. That's the only way to grow. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. What you're looking for is in your hand, been there all along. Pour another cup and pull a chair. Sing along. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Hey! Hey!
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to another Orange Morning. It is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Doing great. Always great when I don't miss a beat on the date and time and
You nailed it.
nailing it today. Yeah, and had a good session with Oaks yesterday, even though we didn't have any updates.
hmm
A little bit of a deep dive on it was calculated or is conditional reporting stuff and how to think about stuff that's has been built or the way we used to do things versus talking to Bree's assistant about stuff. So highly recommend if that is top of mind for you, like it is for a lot of other HubSpot managers and admins, to give that a look. But thankfully, we've got some updates today.
Luckily, we do.
Yeah.
We're back at it.
Which one got your attention first? Looks like we've got 8 today.
Yeah. And quite a couple that have been around. Looks like some stuff moving from like beta to live yesterday, stuff like that. Activity auto associations for app objects is the one that I was kind of like, about.
Activity auto, not on my screen, so I will use your screen.
All right.
Apparently more than 8 updates. Is that 9 on your side? All right. What is activity auto associations for app objects? You can now configure activity auto association settings for app objects for your connected apps the same way you configure them for standard CRM objects.
Why does this matter? When activities like calls or emails are logged on an app object record, they aren't automatically visible on related records timelines unless association settings are configured. Without this, your team has to manually navigate between associated records to piece together the full history of interactions, a time-consuming process that makes it harder to stay on top of customer context. With this update, admins can define the default auto-association behavior for activities logged on app objects, so the right records are always kept in sync. I feel like I could use a video or something. I read through that, but I'm still what I'm hoping this is, and I'm trying to read through because I'm trying not to like give other people hopes. Maybe this example in here might help. Select the object on which the activity is originally logged, for example, to configure settings for an app object named ATS application. Select ATS applications from the dropdown. Select the activity type and log activity 2 for each associated object and select your preferred logging behavior.
Have you seen the activities lately?
There's a lot more in there.
Yep. So I'm gonna share my screen because this is pretty powerful, and
I know I'm the one that said I wanted to read it, and then I'm like, wait, this might be.
like one of my favorite things to kind of nag people about when thinking they need everything to be automated away from their life is confirming what the associations are on any given record, right? And activities usually don't come to mind and easy to just say, like, you just want it to work. But when you are confirming, like when you want all the things to happen and then everything associated to a deal comes into a deal because it's related to the contact and the company, and you have multiple deals going at once, you don't want all of that stuff. Usually, sometimes you do, depending on who's looking. Again, like as long as the who's looking and you're in charge of the relationship understands what needs to be associated when, do a lot more setup here now. So activities is now in the same list as the objects. And there is an associations tab where you can configure the default experience when auto associating activities to the relevant records. To do that, you have to select an object and then an activity type. And then you can say it needs to be associated with the rest of these objects. And so while I don't have any direct experience doing it with app objects, I imagine.
I saw some app objects on your list. Happily objects were on there.
Well, these are actually custom objects.
Okay.
Or app objects were a thing.
Okay.
So I don't think I have any app objects, but that's a good, so there's app objects here. That's a good example of like event happily before there was app objects. You had to create, they helped you create custom objects. Now apps can do app objects, so that doesn't require people to have enterprise, to use them. And now it sounds like they are a first-class citizen when it comes to activities and activity management. So,
well, it did look like, scroll down, it looked like some of those custom objects like were grayed out. So I also wonder if it's like,
yep, because no association exists between accounts and events. So the objects that you want to auto associate have to be associated with each other.
Makes sense.
Yeah, associations getting very powerful. And in a world where we're trying to get better and AI can help with unstructured data, it is so important that the unstructured data is associated to what it needs to be associated and not what it doesn't need to be associated for Breeze to help you. So,
well, this is very cool. I'm glad you opened this up. I haven't seen this. And this is a very cool.
And if you haven't seen this one either,
that's on my list.
This is where this is a new, I think you had it on your updates page too, centralized data model where it's a little bit easier to manage all of this stuff together. Kind because over there you had to pick like one activity, like activities is the group. Now they're here like separately. Group them all together here.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what this represents, look at all of these have properties, like most of them have custom properties, if not all of them available now. Yep, you can see individual one-to-one emails in the system by themselves now. I remember seeing that for the first time on the CRM index page. It's like, wow, we've come so far. I wonder how many people would just jump for joy if they could go look at that. Not quite an email inbox yet, but you never know. So let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. Centralized data model management. What I was just showing, a unified table and graph view for managing your entire data model. Objects, properties, associations, and conditional logic from one easy to use place.
And this one matters because managing your data model used to mean jumping between multiple setting pages with no consistent picture of how objects, properties, and associations connect. By centralizing your data model in one spot, you get a single place to see and manage your entire smart CRM structure, whether you're auditing a complex configuration or making a quick edit to property groups. And that's that table that you're just showing.
Yeah. If you're a data model geek, they've finally given us, what we need to manage it in one place, and manage it like it's just really well designed, in my opinion. Getting to just about everything except pipelines, which I have suggested pipelines should be managed in the workflows like space instead. But everything else, associations, properties, conditional logic, all that stuff, so easy to get to now, and see it all within that same context, right? What is next on our list today? A lot of sandbox stuff.
A lot of sandbox stuff, a couple private betas and 2 lives. This is all 3. I know how to count. This is all the pursuit of, like, sandboxes continuing to get better and more powerful. I made a post, I guess, 2 weeks ago now, and then I talked to the sandbox team about it not always being super clear whether what you're building in the sandbox is going to be able to be pushed to production. So they're just kind of closing those gaps and making sure more and more is able to get pushed to production.
Yeah, I'm interested in this one specifically. Sandbox creation now copies automated transactional emails. What is it? When you create a sandbox, automated transactional emails will be copied along with any workflows or segments that reference them. Deploy to production is also supported for new transactional emails.
Why does it matter? If you use automated transactional email across your workflows, you previously had to manually recreate those emails and their dependent assets every time you created a sandbox. This created extra work for teams who want to test automated transactional emails. Now, when you create a sandbox, we'll copy your automated transactional emails and any workflows or segments that rely on them.
Who gets it? First of all, for sandbox, you need an enterprise. And what kind of transactional emails are we talking about? The ones that customers have who have purchased the transactional email add-on, they are able to test this feature in sandboxes.
And you might have purchased the transactional email add-on if you're sending like service emails. So transactional sounds like an order confirmation, and that is often true. But what also might go in your transactional emails might be something around like a password reset or things like that for if you had like a portal or if you're a SaaS organization, you might have like logins to your app and things like that. Those are all in the transactional email kind of categorization.
It would be awesome. And maybe we could create this resource that every time we saw the word email with a qualifier in front of it, that there would be a link to like, here's what all the different email types are in HubSpot. I think this is probably the most challenging one.
Mhm,
I think it's a little bit legacy in terms of people wanting to automate non-marketing emails
mhm.
before all of this other stuff existed, like one-to-one email triggers in workflows and sequences that can be automated from workflows and Revenue Hub that is automatically sending invoice emails and payment emails and all of the revenue commercey type things that if sound like transactional emails. So
It's
uh,
actually a little, like, nerdier than that even, transactional emails. It's actually how the email clients, so how Gmail, how Outlook see the emails. Um, that's the difference here, is if you are sending it through a transactional email, um, I don't know, like, technically how it works, but I do know that, those email clients see it differently. So it's more likely to be shown in your inbox, which is a big issue for people who abuse this, and they do take that one a little more seriously because that can cause downstream impacts.
yeah, because this is the one like this relates to the what needs to be in the footer, right?
Mhm.
Um, so because you
So,
don't
just for
necessarily want people to unsubscribe from order confirmation
yeah,
emails and time to pay emails.
yeah.
Uh,
So even and I could be wrong about this, I haven't researched it, but I think the term transactional email is actually not even like a HubSpot term. I think that's like a bigger picture term around the different ways that, emails are sent. Those like one-to-one marketing and transactional are the main ones.
Right. Um, so one would think that we could have a transactional email group that includes all of the all of the Revenue Hub stuff that's happening.
You'd have to pay for the add-on.
Yeah, moving on. Uh,
I knew that was gonna
uh, anything I want to click on this note taker with Smart Deal progression as they continue to update this. I
It's like
finally,
the coolest one. We've just yeah, it's been around for a while.
I'm so glad this was the note. So what's changed? Um, added the ability to securely share conversation recordings, summaries,
Mm.
and transcripts externally via shareable links with flexible access controls and introduce support for translating conversation summaries and next steps into each user's preferred language.
Oh, that's crazy.
Um, and I finally clicked on one of the emails yesterday. It had enough context
Mhm.
in there, not quite as much context as this update.
This is
Um, wow. Okay.
Are you sure you wanted to and there here is why this
Yeah.
matters.
I was gonna suggest we deep dive a little bit. Now it just got way easier to do that.
Okay, sorry.
So is there anything else we want to highlight today before we deep dive? this is a super interesting update that everybody needs to be aware of. How hands off it is and how much it's doing like for you.
The only other one, knowledge vault permissions. Have we
Yeah.
seen this one? I feel like we probably have.
I'm not so sure. I know the team has been working on permissions a lot in Brew Studio. So what is it? Customers can now manage access to knowledge vaults using manage and use permissions at both the portal and vault levels, with scope managed by default settings and granular control over who can use or edit each vault.
Why does this matter? As organizations scale, teams accumulate more vaults, and not all of them are relevant to each user. Vault level permissions let builders control who can see and edit each vault, keeping workspaces organized and reducing noise for users who don't need access. It also reduces the risk of accidental data loss or unauthorized exposure, supporting compliance requirements as organizations grow.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this. I'm going to relate it to what we talked about with Oaks yesterday, where every user is going to develop context or should develop context as to like things like how they want to communicate with other humans or even AI. And often that causes things to usually be recorded outside of the system in our personal email inboxes or even desk notes. Like, I've had earlier this year as I was, working through an onboarding of a client, I was told very explicitly that this person does not like AI. So tread lightly around that topic. So I put in my notes, be careful like talking about this person with AI. They opened up throughout the project, by the way, as I continued to show the power of Breeze Assistant. But that was important so that everything I did after that, especially as AI is generating a lot of the content, if it would have suggested, hey, we should show Breeze Assistant to this guy. It's like, no, we shouldn't, right? That's the kind of stuff we'd have to correct every time. If we can't save stuff in knowledge vaults or in the context system of HubSpot, in the case of like internal and external, it's a little bit easier to understand, like, yeah, let's save that in HubSpot. But when it's internal to internal, like the like the super admins, like, can they see it and that kind of stuff? So I would imagine it's hard. It's still hard for me to imagine that a user can protect information from super admins. But that's where I would rather get to a place where we just have a good culture and like super admins know to only go in that space. Like if the person leaves or if if there's an issue. But this is that place where accumulate more vaults, not all of them relevant to every user. The vaults are going to be where like all of the context gets stored. So good to see them working on that. It would be cool to start to get help from AI, I think, to build these vaults or to add these vaults. Like imagine a Breeze Assistant could be like, hey, this relates to this vault. Would you like to update it or add to it or something like that? That's what we're doing outside of HubSpot right now. So back to Note Taker.
Back to Note Taker.
All right.
All right, and I'll take a nap while you read through. We can take turns.
Okay. All right. So let's just, I need instructions because I got rid of the guide yesterday. I got so excited to go share the thing. I was like, let me go share it.
I'm so quick to get rid of. I'm like, get me out of here. No, I don't want to see it.
How do I share it? What? How do I get back to the guide? No. External sharing. Share conversation insights with stakeholders outside of HubSpot in just a few clicks. Secure links to share recordings, summaries, and transcripts with prospects, customers, partners, or internal teams. Flexible controls to set link expiration dates and revoke access at any time. Delivery options to copy a shareable link or email recipients directly from HubSpot. No login required. Recipients get a streamlined view of the conversation without needing a HubSpot account.
Yeah, this is a big pain point for many teams to just like move over, was the ability to share this. Oh, I like these settings a lot.
Now, here's the quiz. Get to a call, get to the page, get to that page.
Uh-huh. How do I get there?
Yeah. Get to a meeting review page.
Oh, this is not the best way. It'll work, but I don't think it's the best way.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Usually,
is so bad. So what I would do is I would go to any CRM object. So let's say contacts. And then I would select from here the drop down to calls but it's in meetings now, right?
yep.
So that's what I would do. But this is not the best way to do this.
Right. Well, I think like just type in collective at the top, like to search. And go to June 10th.
I was like, what is a date in the past? Oh,
right?
look, start the tour.
Yes. Yes. All right, let's tour it.
All right, that was an anticlimactic tour.
All right. Ready for the tour. I'm here.
It kind of speaks for itself, you know? It just kind of speaks for
right.
itself.
Oh man, is this one of those moments? Hold on, I gotta see the meetings on my side because you remember the part where I said I couldn't figure out how to share? I'm gonna go to the exact meeting and confirm. Yep. The big orange button on the right, in the upper
Share.
right, is how
Yeah.
you share. I think it's the big black button for me because I'm on the new theme. So maybe that's my excuse. But yeah, my training habit holds true where it's like, what do you want to do on that screen? Yeah, look for the big orange button.
And this is the preview of the page.
Wow, this is so good. And like all of the things that we just highlighted, right? Secure links, flexible controls, delivery options, no login required. Those are all very complex things that, and this is why it didn't just drop. It's why we haven't gotten it yet. Not to mention like video hosting and what is required to actually have replayable videos from the HubSpot infrastructure. All this stuff starts to roll together in terms of like what they're updating. But if you can do this, that means AI probably has some accessibility it also didn't have before. This is super powerful. We also have translation support. uh,
Yes, that is the
review
next.
summaries and next steps in your preferred language. The language selected is unique to each user. So 4 different team members could select 4 different preferred languages. Uh, Synced experience, toggle languages seamlessly across both conversation review and record pages. Your preference automatically syncs. On-demand switching, change languages instantly whenever needed without altering the original record. And read-only views, to keep editing the original language while using translations for quick collaboration. Uh,
So that is in the transcript section. Oh, here, right here. So the default is the portal language, but I could change that to French.
and go to like the summary.
There.
Wow. Wow. That's so powerful.
It's very cool.
Yeah. You remember how hard that used to be? Like, wow. Like localization and like the cost, right?
Mhm.
Like I'd be interested to see like how good the localization is, like
Mhm.
with the translation. Again, now that AI is here, I'm sure it's 100 times better than it used to be. But the cost of um, getting somebody from that place that knows the local language and what words to say and what words not to say, like, is a big part of this.
Yeah.
And which is why it understandably, like, when resourced properly, is a significant investment for
Mhm.
companies that usually they didn't want to make.
Mhm.
So uh, this is a huge boon for any multilingual companies on HubSpot.
It is. It is. Yeah, I mean, I think just translation services in general, like what a great use case of AI is translation services in general, and making that more scalable and readable in a different language. I mean, you know, I remember a long time ago, like in high school or something, like you translate something from English into French and then back into English just for like the bit, because it would be like funny how wrong it would be just from like that little back and forth. Um, but I don't think that would happen. I mean, that, yeah.
Yeah,
Would
my story there is when I worked for Rigaku back in like 2020, 2021. We were trying to help like Mexico, like break into Mexico and in Latin America. And like one of the main words to describe the product was rugged, right? And it doesn't mean the same thing when you put it in Spanish. Um, it's more like strong man, uh, to put it lightly. It goes a little bit farther than that, and to how people use it. But that's an example like of how challenging this can be and why it's
Mhm,
not as easy as most companies would like it to be. When just like, all right, we're gonna go, we're gonna grow in Latin America now, right? Let's
mhm.
just take all the messages that we built and oops, one of our 3 primary words that we use to describe the product everywhere on every piece of collateral we have. We can't use that word. So what are we gonna do? All right, I guess they're gonna read English. That's what we're gonna do.
That's what they're gonna
Um,
do.
Another massive update here. Starting July 31st, 2026, HubSpot is simplifying how meetings recorded via note taker, Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams are logged. Super interested in this because I actually don't have anything joining my meetings.
Mhm,
It is Google, like just the
mhm,
Google uh, recordings and Meet that are
mhm,
happening, and it's all coming into HubSpot. Not super sure how it works, but I know there's a Meet integration, and just happy to have it like continue to coming in, and also not have a recorder focused like video feed
mhm,
on the call is super nice. Um, what's changing? Today, meetings recorded with note taker or video conferencing integrations like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet create both a call record and a meeting record. To simplify reporting and processes after this change, they will only create a meeting record. Hallelujah. Call objects will still exist for actual calling activity, like phone calls. This change only affects recorded meetings. What this means for you, you will need to update your setup if you currently do any of these things. Workflows. You use workflows triggered by call creation intended for meetings. For properties, you might rely on call based properties like has transcript, transcript ID, or duration for meetings. In reporting, you might filter dashboards or activity reports by call or engagement objects to track meetings. Note, because duplicate records are being eliminated, your activity reports will show a drop in call volume after July 31st.
mhm.
This is expected and reflects better data accuracy. How many people have been working off of an inflated number, Casey?
A lot. I
Uh,
mean, everyone, apparently.
yeah, man, I wish we could be flies on the walls for those moments where it's like, Lindsay, what's going on over there? Like, is everything okay? You're not making as many calls. What happened? You're like, well, boss, I'm still crushing it, like revenue wise. So what are we even talking about here? Um, take that KPI off my dashboard, please. Uh, also, navigation, kind of like we just did. You look for meeting recordings or transcripts directly on the call index page.
Mhm.
That won't be available anymore. To ensure a seamless transition, HubSpot is already adding key properties. That's good. To directly to the meeting record, like has transcript, transcript ID, and duration. This allows you to recreate your workflows and reports ahead of the July 31st deadline. I feel like we should create a workshop for everybody
There we
to
go.
do this. Like maybe at the end of July, the another Orange Morning workshop series or lab. Maybe we can piggyback on that. We'll have everybody show up and just get that done. I'm sure it won't take any time at all. Uh,
This is a big update in that, like, it makes things make way more sense. Like, when we first heard of this, I, for a long time, have been very confused between calls and meetings. I don't really I've always had a really hard time on, like, what's a call, what's a meeting, um, and so I'm glad to see some clarity on that. And especially with the meeting note taker kind of aligning and drawing a line in the sand kind of and saying this is what we are. Um, I I think this will make using HubSpot a little easier for teams. The caveat there being if teams have already gotten used to the meeting note taker working in the call object, then they'll have to change. But I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of teams leveraging the note taker right now. So I think I think for most teams, this is something you should start using, not something you should be worried about kind of changing. This is only relevant if you're using the meetings note taker, which I just think is an underutilized tool right now. Yeah.
That's true. So probably not as many dealing with inflated call numbers because they didn't use it because they didn't want to worry about inflated call numbers.
Mhm, mhm.
So good to see that changed. I want to hit on the conversation review and deal progression because it is getting
Okay.
better. As Breeze gets better, this kind of stuff gets better, and it continues to impress. We've improved how you share meeting outcomes, get insights, and access data across your experience. Default auto updates and enhanced notifications to eliminate even more manual post meeting work. Auto updates are now enabled by default for call outcome and meeting outcome. Unified stats, call stats, and track terms are now delivered to both the meeting and call review pages. Improved email follow-ups. Open your email draft directly inside the Breeze panel with an improved format, letting you make copy edits more seamlessly. Enhanced call and meeting summaries to provide a consistent experience. Meeting activity cards now feature an improved summary that matches the call activity card experience. And suggested follow-ups card access post-engagement recommendations directed directly on the deal record by adding the new suggested follow-ups card. I did not know that was a thing. Let's add it. Oh, we only got 1 minute though, so I guess we can't add it. Let's make sure we add it tomorrow. So many native CRM cards that you can put in the middle of a record now. And there's so many people building stuff like this, like outside of HubSpot or using custom agents to get it done inside of HubSpot.
Mhm,
Like a suggested follow-ups card in the middle of a CRM record.
mhm.
I want to go add it to like every portal right now.
Did you set these up, these templates? Or is
I did not.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, yeah, because these are I mean, it's just changing the summary based on, like, who you're writing the summary for, a support rep or a sales rep. They're internal right now, but
Yep. How awesome is that? So very powerful
Mhm.
right now. And yeah, hopefully this removes, I mean, we got through like 30% of this update. So if you've been thinking about it, there's some pricing at the end too, if you guys want to check it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very powerful update. I've been enjoying it. It's helped me to understand that the data is flowing into HubSpot, even though I haven't been opening the emails,
Mhm,
right? It's always helpful to like confirm that context is being structured in a way that you want it to be.
mhm.
Uh, so very cool. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you tomorrow for another Orange Morning.